All right, coming up on money, can you write your resume in 140 characters or less? Twitter resumes are the hottest new way to score a gig. We're going to tell you how to revolutionize the hunt for talent.
I gotta go. I gotta go.
So if you're looking for work, forget emailing your resume to prospective employers. That is so 2005. Twitter is the new trend in job hunting today. It may sound tough to post your resume in just 140 characters, but it's really like the new elevator pitch, and there are some interesting aspects that could put you in a much better position than anyone trying the old-fashioned way. Joining me now is Catherine Minshew, founder and CEO of The Muse, and Chris Ruby, founder and CEO of Ruby Media Group. Thanks to both of you for joining us. Catherine, let me start with you. You actually hired someone based on their Twitter resume?
Absolutely. Our director of marketing saw me speak at an event. He reached out and said, I found what you had to say very compelling. I love the company. Here's a link to my social media profiles. If you're looking for someone in marketing, I'd love to talk more. And I was really impressed. And so we brought him in from an interview and we hired him a month later.
So sounds great. We'd like to tell our audience how to actually do it. Chris, one of the tips mentioned was retweeting or conversing with managers or CEOs or HR people at a company that you want to work for. How do you do that effectively?
Definitely. One of the things that you can do is start pinpointing where you want to work, what agencies you want to work at, and then finding their hashtags and finding their Twitter handles. And then actually following them, retweeting relevant content, using hashtags in the industry you want to work in, so that you appear in their newsfeed every time that they're looking at their mentions. They start to recognize who you are. And the reason that's important is because when you do send your resume in a few months later, they'll recognize your name.
So, Catherine, what would you do to get recognized in that kind of a setting, and could you go too far?
Absolutely. I think there's a lot of do's and don'ts. On a basic level, you want to make sure that your profile is representing yourself in a positive way. So look at the picture that you're using. Is it professional? Is it positive? Your Twitter bio, although it's short, it's actually a great way to say, this is who I am. This is a little bit about what I'm interested in. You can put a link to a blog post, to your LinkedIn profile, to something else. And then on Twitter, as Chris was saying, it's a fantastic way to develop a personality, to engage someone, but I think you have to be careful not to cross the line into harassment. I mean, I always tell people a lot of it's common sense. If you wouldn't call someone 4 times, when they don't return your call, you probably shouldn't kind of tweet at someone repeatedly. If they haven't answered, maybe take a break for a little bit. But that said, it's a great way to just make sure that that they know that you're interested and to stand out in a sea of applicants.
Chris, it strikes me that there are a lot of industries that this would not work for. I mean, when I think about hedge funds, for example, who are pretty secretive and low profile, I mean, they hate it when they have employees that are on social media, that are on Facebook, that are tweeting. There are a lot of things this wouldn't work for, right?
Yeah, I think it's really geared best towards people who are interested in working in the communications industry.
That's it? That's not a big group of people.
Well, I think that would be the primary audience. I think in terms of, the SEC and FINRA for financial regulations, I think they're very strict, and I don't think, for hedge funds, this would be the right avenue.
Okay, so it's hard to tweet your resume in 140 characters or less. I gave it a shot. If we can put it up on the screen. Now, obviously, I'm not looking for a job because I love my job and I'm never leaving Fox for the rest of my life. But I do like to do speaking engagements. So I said host of 2 daily shows at Fox Business, best-selling author, Harvard Econ grad, mom, loves to keynote, inspire, motivate, and I put my website on there. What do you think?
I think that's fantastic. You've gone out there, made it very concise. It's very clear who you are, what you're passionate about, and why someone should reach out to you if they're interested in working with you.
But just blurting that out on my Twitter feed, I mean, you put it out, then it's gone. Who cares?
People care that are following you. And the more followers you have, the better here. I mean, that's really important.
Yeah. How often do you do it before you look desperate?
I think finding the right context is important. For example, if you were part of an industry chat, if there was a Twitter chat, there's whole places online where you can search for Twitter chats related to your industry, and you could go to one of those chats and introduce yourself in that way and then participate.
I think the biggest mistake here that I see is that, you could write a perfect resume tweet, but what happens before and after that? It's not only the resume tweet that's important, but what goes around it. So you don't want to have a really good resume tweet and then slang and things on your Twitter feed that an employer is going to say, was this written by the same person?
Right. You attract them to your Twitter feed, and then they look back in the history and you've said something really stupid. That's not helpful. All right, guys, thanks to both of you.